The industry icon who has engineered over 3,000 real estate transactions and grossing over $200 million in sales. RJ Palano is the man who makes ordinary people wealthy and wealthy people safe and wealthier. As the founder and acquisition director of Buy Cash Flow Properties, RJ has achieved iconic status in the real estate industry and has managed transactions for investors across the globe. Having personally bought and sold homes in more than 50 cities and 12 states across the U.S., RJ has handled hundreds of millions of dollars in private investor funds, providing massive returns. A real estate guru for over 40 years, RJ has authored 3 books, including Buy Right, Retire Rich, and his most recent release, Confessions from a $200 million Real Estate Dealmaker. As a highly sought-after keynote speaker and mentor, RJ has spent decades passing on his wisdom and insight to inspired audiences all over the world. Author, speaker, mentor, and real estate investment mogul. Please welcome RJ Palano.
So we turned on the lights and everything for me. Is that what's going on? You made me wait all day. I'm so excited to be here. And it's not easy for me to sit here and wait. I did have to get a massage during the middle of this thing. I gotta tell you something. That thing makes me look like a big shot, but I'm really not a big shot. I'm just a little shot that keeps shooting. Yeah, put the lights back on. I don't want people falling asleep on me. Okay. And what I mean by that is, we live in a world that's crazy. It's upside down. It's an entitlement mentality everywhere, right? And the thing is, you have to persevere. You can never quit. And that's probably one of the keys to my success, is never quitting. And I've been knocked down. Every time I've been knocked down, it's been nothing more than a setback or a setup for a comeback. And you're going to find out about a lot of things about me. I'm going to share some things I don't normally share when I give these little speeches here. But right now, I need everybody to stand up. You guys have been sitting all day. And you got to be tortured souls right now. And I need you to slide next to the person next to you. If there's nobody next to you, you got to slide. Hang with me, guys. Work with me just a little bit. You got to get next to somebody for this little exercise. It's not there. I promise you. Now, everybody turn to face the wall this way. Everybody turn to face the wall. You got to be next to the person next to you. Guys, okay, this would be your right. Okay? We're speaking the same language. Now scratch the person's back in front. Let's turn you around. Okay, let's reverse it. Give a massage, give them like that. Come on, guys. You gotta play it in. Let's work here. Excellent. Now stay standing. Stay standing. This is really what business is all about. It's helping. Here we go. If you don't own any rental real estate, sit down. I want everybody standing that owns rental real estate here. If you don't own any rental real estate, I want to see what we got in the group. Everybody knows it. If you don't own rental real estate in the U.S., sit down. I want to see who owns property in the U.S. That's 2, 1, 2, 3. If you bought houses from me, keep standing. If you haven't bought houses from me, sit down. Okay, so we got 2 guys here. These are the people you should talk to. You guys can sit down. Thank you for standing. You should talk to them and see how we treat them in business. Okay? Because you can hear something from me. I could write something. I could say something. What do you know? You got to talk to somebody that's walked in the shoes of somebody that I've dealt with to see how we take care of people or if we don't take care of people. And basically, folks, that's just due diligence. Everybody that gets up here, they can sound great. You can put lipstick on a pig, but at the end of the day, it's still a pig. And how many of you have already been taken advantage of in your life? Put your hands up. Just a few. The rest of you haven't done enough business. So somebody took my glass of water. If somebody be so kind to give me a fresh glass of water, that would be great. Anyway. Can you see it? Okay, this is the one I bought. Okay. That's for vodka. Who's messing up my drink here? So I've got literally 3 presentations for you today. I've got a PowerPoint presentation. I have something that's in my mind that I expect to deliver, and then you're going to get what comes out of my mouth, and we'll try to tie it all together at the end of this. First, as you guys know, I'm from the U.S. I live in Florida. In Florida, we have 50 states. You guys probably know this if you got a little bit of history in it. Probably a lot more than I do. Florida has no state income tax. We have a federal tax in our country, but Florida has no state income tax. So a lot of people like to live in Florida. Besides, the climate is fantastic, and it's got really great quality of life. So we have Donald Trump, okay? And you guys read things, you see things on TV. I'm going to give you the lowdown really quick, because you heard Nikki Weimer, who was outstanding. I heard her in Cape Town the other day. I thought she was actually outstanding. If I lived in South Africa, she would have scared the hell out of me. But since I live in America, it didn't bother me a bit. And I had to ask her. I said, so let me ask you, Nikki, what do you think of Donald Trump? What should he have done differently that he's not doing? And would we be better off with Hillary Clinton? Oh, yeah, right. The long and short of it, she said, well, the rest of the world would be better off with Hillary Clinton. We would be better off with Hillary Clinton, but not in the U.S. And that's exactly right. Because Hillary was one of those people that preaches entitlement. And she would say anything to you, to you, to you, to you, to you. It can contradict you. Everything can contradict what she said to the person before. But it was all about that power base. It's all about the vote. And that's something that we all got to be very cognizant of. Whatever country we live in, that people are grappling for power. Okay? And the thing about Trump is Trump doesn't care. He ran with his own money. He did not take any endorsements or anything like that. He spent his own money to become president. He doesn't take a salary. He doesn't take orders very well. He doesn't know how to put that Twitter account down. We all know that. He had an interesting personal life, but nobody really cares about his personal life. We need a businessman to run a country. Yeah. Just like you guys are running your business. Wouldn't you guys rather have Trump over here? There you go. Or somebody like him, a businessman. Can you even imagine some of the presidents we've had in the past and some of the deals that they've made? He's unwinding that stuff. Now recently I had the opportunity to speak at the Harvard Club in Boston. And I shared the stage with Caitlyn Jenner, which is unusual. Many of you have ever heard of Caitlyn Jenner. She used to be Bruce Jenner. And I can send you guys that speech. You can get a kick out of it if you haven't seen it. But also I shared the stage with George Ross. George used to be Trump's personal attorney from the time he was 27 years old to the time he ran for office. And he said he had to get away because he knew where the bodies were. But I was talking to George. And I said, George, I'm going to ask you one thing about Trump. I said, I've been in a discussion with my wife about the way he negotiates. I said, my perception is he's pushing everybody to the wall, right to the edge of the cliff. The outlandish things he says and he demands that he knows he's walking it back. He knows he's walking it back. And George looked at me and goes, of course, he's negotiating. That's what he does. So all this crazy stuff, these trade wars, all this silly stuff that you hear about, there's reason. Does he really expect it to go that way? We'd have to ask him. I'm not sure he'd give us the right answer, but I don't think so. He's walking it back to where it should be. He's just trying to make things right, and he's protecting our borders. Okay? What's wrong with that? He's protecting our borders. Look at what happened to Europe with all the refugee crisis. It's crazy. The face of Europe will change in 25 years. It will be a very different area of the world, in my opinion. And I'm not so sure that I want to be there in 25 years. I'm not sure I want to be there with kids in 25 years. And you guys here, you've got this incredible situation in your country. It's challenging. You know, you're in a recession, but truthfully, and very truthfully, when things are bad for some people, that's a great opportunity for other people. Our last recession, I did phenomenal. Okay? But I had to reinvent myself. I had to do things differently. Okay? So Trump, in America, the media, forget about it. The media is bought and paid for. You guys need to know that. And it's paid for by the Democrats. So when I got to Cape Town, my friend put on CNN, he goes, look, I want to make you feel at home. I said, not CNN, man. They're the worst. Don't you have Fox TV or something there? At least give me a more balanced view. So then there was Al Jazeera, your South African news, which I found I really enjoyed it because I got to see so much more that they don't show us in our own country. Every country, think about this too, wants their citizens to keep their money in. Isn't that true? It's scary. Our country does the same thing. They don't want to see our money leave the country either. So that's enough about Trump, and that's enough about politics. I'm really not politically active in any way, shape, or form until the last election because there was so much at stake in our country. And my wife of 37 years, when she said she wasn't going to vote for Trump, I said, well, where are you going to live next week? Okay. And I'm really that serious. It went down just like that. In fact, the day of the election, I was so disgusted, so disturbed, that I said, I'm either drinking whiskey tonight or I'm drinking champagne. Came home from the office at 5 o'clock, I went to bed to take a nap. I put the TV on at 7 o'clock, and I just said, son of a bitch, I don't feel good about this. I just started drinking Gentleman Jack. And I started drinking it, and I continued to drink it until about 11 o'clock. I said, oh my God, I think he's got a shot. And I went over to my neighbor's house, we're all watching it. I fell asleep at 2 in the morning, I woke up. It was really too early in the day to start drinking champagne, and I did start drinking it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So a little history about me. I've been in the real estate business. In 2019, it'll be 40 years. At one time in my life, I was the largest owner of houses in the city of Buffalo, Buffalo, New York, and I'm here to tell you, being bigger isn't always better, okay? I became the biggest target of bureaucrats and politicians, much like I read about some guys in the paper here the other day, and how he lost this court case with the tenant that he was evicting, and I just had a chuckle out of it. I mean, I can give you all kinds of examples of what I went through in Buffalo. But, you know, like the headlines, King of the Slum. It said one Saturday morning, I was the king of the slums. And it said that I was like the worst landlord ever because I had I've been to housing court 36 times in 39 months, more than anybody in the history of Buffalo. But that's what they said. That was the story. Here's what really happens. If you were in housing court, I had people outside housing court giving you my card so we could buy your house. And so if you were in housing court and I bought your house, I ended up in housing court. Okay, that's it. So they paint this picture that I'm this different person, and it was ridiculous. In fact, I actually went to prison. Now I know a lot of people say they've been to prison, but I really went. Okay? And I went in 2006 with one of my travesties of mortgage fraud. Now I can tell you all about that because you would have to read the story to really understood what happened there. And it's in my book, and the book is free to all you guys. You should have my brochure in front of you, and there's a free download to the book. Okay? There's also, it's on the back of the magazine? Okay, excellent. Did my brochures get passed out? Okay. I've never seen one of them. That I paid for it. Neil? Neil? I don't see it anyway. Somebody show me a brochure. Ah, there we go. Thank you very much. And it's also, I also recorded my own voice in Audible because you'll know, if you read that book after you hear me today, you'll know I wrote every word in that book. And I tell the story about what happened with the mortgage fraud. That chapter is called The Scarlet Letter. And that's something that goes away, the pain, the shame, the nonsense that goes on with that. I actually went to jail for 8 months with that. And I'll tell you what, as I look back over time, I know this for sure. Every step I've ever taken in my life, every single step I've ever taken, has brought me here right now in front of you guys. And I have to say the same thing to you. Every step that you've ever taken has brought you here right now as well. So things are meant to happen. I think things are meant to happen. Now, when I went to jail, I really thought I was a victim. And I don't want you guys to think for 1 second that I'm a victim, because I'm absolutely not a victim whatsoever. I'm accountable for everything I've ever done in my life, good and bad. And I think there's a hell of a lot more good than there is bad. That's just the way it goes. But as I look back over time, I realized at that time that I had to go there, I mean, I was miserable for a long time. I got to tell you, I had a chip on my shoulder, and I really think there's still a little anger in there somewhere that comes out every once in a while. And I started to realize that they did me a favor because I had to reinvent myself. And because of all the things that happened to me, I ended up working with clients like yourselves in this room on 5 different continents. We created a turnkey operation of single-family houses in Atlanta, Georgia, and I became far more successful than I'd ever been, being the largest landlord with 350 houses in the city of Buffalo. The only reason that I knew that I was the largest is because they kept putting it in the newspaper. We've got houses now, so we bought some lower price stuff. It's ridiculously low, but it pans out. It's like $65,000. Most of our houses are about $150,000 to $200,000. Now, that doesn't quote my goal that well, maybe 5%, 7%. But for many of you, just to get out of this economy here and have your foot somewhere else, earning money and leaving it over there, you need an escape route. The other thing that we're doing, which this is like the main thing that I'm doing right now. Somebody that's on my team up in Atlanta has an agreement with the government, and we're able to get houses at a very big discount, sometimes before they go to foreclosure, sometimes right after. We have a 5-year contract. And what we're doing, we're getting 20 to 25 houses a month. Okay, so what I do, what I've done for my family and friends, is I let them put up the money, all of it, per house, because we don't want you 3 guys on the same table, it's just one person in each house. keeps it simple because you don't want to pool money, and we don't want to do SEC regulations either. So they put up the money for, let's just say, a $100,000 house. They put it all up, they get 8% preferred return, 20% of the net profit. That $100,000 house is going to sell for 100. There'll be 120,000 when we're all said and done. So you get 8%, and you get a kicker of $4,000. That money is fast. It's in and out. It's 4 months to 8 months. Most of it's been taken 4 to 6. I say 8. I like to put a buffer in there. But that is something that you guys can do, especially guys that have worked with me in the past. They got the first crack at this because I always want to help and serve the people that were there for me in the beginning when I started doing things, and they have faith and confidence in me. And my thing is, I don't ever want to let anybody down. I have a lot of money in the bank right now. I use my one friend's money until it's used up. He's got another $1 million to go. So $9 to be exact. And we have now opened that up to other investors because I want to make sure that we can take advantage of every one of those opportunities because it is so good. And it's like reinventing yourself. This is the new and the latest and the greatest opportunity. Now, one issue you guys got here in South Africa, and all my international investors have the same issue, is they can't borrow money in the U.S. at favorable rates. Now, we can get you money right now. I have a company. Any house of mine you buy, they will lend you 60%. Their new rate, because rates are inching up a little bit, that's how the government control inflation. Yours is going to be doing it too, because you got that going on as well. 9.75%, 20-year fixed, 4 points. They'll lend you 60% of anything that I sell, because they love my product. Is it a great rate? No, I think it's 6. I borrow the money at 9%, but I'm doing other deals at 2 points. And they'll give me all the money plus the rehab because I have this special relationship with them. And I do a lot of deals because I use them for the other deals that we negotiate. You see, 5 or 6 years ago, we could buy a lot of stuff at auction. As Neil was talking about earlier, I would get to Atlanta, we would work about 10 counties. And I would look at 50 to 70 houses a day. And I'm not exaggerating, 50 to 70. Quite a task, but that would be one county. Okay? I would take a video, I would knock on the door, see if anybody lived there. If they didn't live there, I'd use a credit card. Sometimes it was MasterCard, sometimes it was a Visa that would open up the lock. I don't know. Sometimes we got in, sometimes we used our phone. We don't do that very often anymore. Okay? We don't use the credit anymore at all. They have a battery thing. No kidding. In fact, the guys in South Africa took a picture of me. It was in your magazine, and they got me like this with my foot up against the door with the caption, "Breaking into the U.S. housing market." And I was grateful. He probably doesn't even know to this day that he spelled my name wrong. I was a little edgy about that. I mean, I could distract you guys and tell you how they called me from California. They wanted to do a reality show on me called Flip This House. It wasn't Flip This House, it was something like that. I said, "What do you mean, like Flip This House?" I said, "How'd you find out about it?" "Well, we saw all these videos about you." And I said, "So what's in it for me?" Young guys, 5 most important words in business. What's in it for me? They said publicity. I thought, wrong answer. The right answer was money. But that night I was home and I got the TV on and I'm flipping the channels and I see Flip This House. It's one of those stupid shows. They have a ton of them. It is so fabricated. It is so absurd. I would go to jail for something else. I'm sure of it. It was so ridiculous. It was so made up. It's like they're saying, and if there's a 4th bedroom, kazam, that's an extra $10,000. I'm being kick the door in. You gotta find out if there's an extra bedroom. You can't believe what's inside some of these houses. And there's houses that we didn't go into. You talk to the neighbor says, I'm just giving you an example here. The house, they took great care of it. It's got magnificent tile throughout the house. I bought the house. Got into it, the tile was magnificent. There was no kitchen, no bathroom, no lighting, no fixtures, no toilet, no nothing. I just broke out laughing. I didn't know what else to do, so when I get really aggravated, I laugh sometimes. But that's what happens. You have to minimize your risk. And sometimes minimizing your risk is you take a little risk to minimize your risk. But in business, if you don't minimize your risk, you're going to get jammed, you're going to get slammed, you're going to get something bad is going to happen to you. Something bad may happen to you anyhow, and you just got to persevere. One of the things that I invested in after I sold a lot of my houses is this friend of mine who was up in Cleveland, and he was working for the best operator I've ever seen in my life. And nope, I'll go back to that. He does affordable housing, and they own the Key Tower. It's the largest building in Cleveland. The largest building in Cleveland, the tallest building. It's got a beautiful Marriott hotel next to it. He's got restaurants. And I met with his staff. He had the nicest chairs, the nicest everything. The greatest view. This guy has his own plane, his own boats here and in Florida. And I've been on one of them in Florida. Unbelievable operator. So I invested some of my money because this guy borrows money at about 4%, does these big projects, and you get a guaranteed rate of return, as well as you get, yeah, so you give me 5 minutes, you're about an hour late, yeah, I'll be done when I'm done, okay? You got that? Just kidding. Another hour. Anyhow, there are these opportunities that you can invest in. I really don't make any money on those, but I'm more than happy. I have sheets on these. If you want them, I am here. I got nowhere else to go. I'm afraid to go out. There's a little truth there. Some guy says, you're wearing a Rolex. I said, yeah, they got a Rolex gang. I said, great, I'll just give it to them. Well, you gotta put a gun to your head first. So. But I will hook you guys up with that stuff. I bought into one. I put up about $500,000 in one deal, and I put up $150 grand in another deal. I'm guaranteed a rate of return on one deal of 14.5. Right now, he's got a deal. He will guarantee you 12% on your money in a year, or you can stay in for a longer period, and you'll start to get a really good cash flow. And I have no intention of getting out of either one of my deals. I want annuity. I want that money coming in because the whole idea of working, as you guys should know, and I'm sure you do, is to make the money so that you can have your money work for you, so you never got to go back to work, and you don't have to take orders from anybody. Is anybody here like taking orders? Yeah, not this group. I don't think so. I should not like taking them. So I like to call my own shots, do what I do, when I want to do it, for how long I want to do it. When I'm done, it's over. So quickly, I could have showed you a ton of houses. I'm just showing you there's 3 houses here, before and after pictures. These are the houses that we did in the government deal. That's before. You can see a tarp on the roof. That's after. I think you guys have figured out the rest as we get through here. You see the kitchen been completely redone. And the person that we have doing this has been doing a phenomenal job. This particular house, I think it's this one. It's this one. I went to this house. You can see broken glass all over the place. And when she told me what she was going to sell it for, the rehab cost, I said, yeah, good luck with that. And she did it. And that's when I jumped in. Because at first I didn't like the way the paperwork was. But the person running this stuff is doing such an incredible job that she does all my rehabs now in Atlanta. And I'm telling you, phenomenal job. I mean, the decorator, my guys never did that kind of stuff. Oh, here's the key tower. Okay? Right there. And if you can see, let's see if I know how to use the pointer. Their office, they got the 23rd floor somewhere around here, they got the 13th floor. There's Lake Erie, Buffalo's over there somewhere. And you can't see, but that's the football stadium. And they got the basketball stadium over here, basketball courts where the NBA is. And then they got right over here, back away, the baseball. I went to a baseball game one night, went and saw LeBron James play the next night. It was unfreaking believable. But that's Cleveland, and it's built right. And these projects aren't necessarily in Cleveland, one of which we're speaking is the one that they have availability for. So, this is me. I thank you guys for saying, I know this has been a really long day for you guys. But if you want to, I'm going to be at the bar after this, and I'm more than happy to answer anybody's questions until you run out of questions. But I'm also here tomorrow from 9 to 11 in the business lounge. Just tell them at the front desk, I'm here for Palano, and they'll take you right up. Coffee, tea, whatever you want, as long as it's coffee or tea. And then if anybody needs another appointment with me, they really want some one-on-one time, just let me know. I got nowhere to go, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.